Good morning, everyone. Hi, I am Shubhojit. My partner Abhimanyu and I have selected the topic Introduction to Oracle Database for our video presentation. The agenda for our video presentation are quick review of RDBMS concepts, evolution of Oracle, features of Oracle, database structures, its architecture, Oracle instance and its memory structures, database connection, database modes, and database backups. To start with Oracle, first we need to know what is relational database management system. To store, process and retrieve data, we need database management system. And a database management system that is based on the relational model as introduced by EF Cord is known as relational database management system. Data is structured in a relational database as tables, fields and records. The widely used RDBMS are MS SQL Server, IBM DB2, Microsoft Access, MySQL, and Oracle. Now we come to the evolution of Oracle. In 1977, four members, Larry, Ellison, Bob, and Ed, started a company called SDL, Soft Development Laboratories, which was later renamed to Oracle Corporation in 1983. Over the years, Oracle has developed largely, incorporating many features. In 2007, Oracle 11G was launched, which is very stable and widely used throughout the world. In 2013, Oracle 12c was launched, introducing cloud computing features in it. Now we should discuss the features of Oracle. It is highly sophisticated. It is platform independent and robust. It is highly secured and widely acceptable throughout the world. It has highest availability for business. It provides scalability solutions and robust disaster recovery solutions. The latest features of Oracle are the Oracle Grid and cloud solutions. What is Oracle Database? The Oracle Relational Database Management System provides an open, comprehensive, integrated approach to information management. The Oracle database can widely be categorized as two main structures, one the physical structures and another the logical structures. The physical structures are the files that store the data. First comes the data files. This actually contains the database data, example tables, indexes, etc. Then comes the control files. It contains the database information like the database name, location, names of data files, and redo log files. The redo log files. They record all the changes made to the data in the log files. The parameter files. This contains list of configuration parameters for instance and database. Archive log files. Redo log files are archived automatically in these files by Oracle when database is in archive log mode. Alert and trace log files. These record activities and errors in Oracle database in chronological order. Lastly, backup files. Backup files are stored as dump files and now we come to the logical structures of a database. First comes the data blocks. The smallest unit of storage in Oracle database is termed as data blocks. A collection of such data blocks forms extents and a collection of extents forms segments. A number of segments together exist in a table space. This is the relational diagram between the physical and the logical structures. As you can see, collection of data blocks forms an extent, collection of extent forms a segment, and a collection of segment resides in a table space in the logical side. On the other side, A collection of OS blocks forms a data file, and a collection of data files resides in a table space. From here on, Abhimanyu would describe the Oracle database architecture.
Thank you, Shubhojit. So, as you can see, this is a Oracle database architecture. The middle rectangular part describes the memory, and the surrounding circular structures are the background processes. Oracle instance is an integral part of Oracle database. It is a combination of background process and memory buffer. Oracle instance along with Oracle database forms Oracle database server. Every time a database is started, memory is allocated and Oracle process are invoked. Memory structures. Oracle create and use memory structures to complete several jobs. For example, a memory stores program code being run and data shared among users. The two basic memory structures associated with Oracle are System Global Area and Program Global Area. The next is System Global Area. It has three main subparts. First one is Database Buffer Cache. It is used for storing the most recently used block of data. The modified and the non-modified blocks are kept in its memory, which ensures lesser I/O, leading to higher performance gain. The redo log buffer holds the information about the changes made to the database. The changes made through DDL and DML are held in its redo entry, and these entries are further written into the redo logs, which is used for recovery. The next is shared pool. It has two subparts. The first one is library cache, which contains the current SQL execution plan, and it also holds procedures and trigger code. The dictionary is used for storing the metadata of the data. The program global area. It is a memory buffer that contains data and control information of a server process. A PGA is created by Oracle when a server process is started. Each server process and background process has its own PGA. The difference between PGA and SGA is that PGA cannot be shared between multiple processes and SGA is used for the whole instance and it is shared. The next is background process. There are several background processes on Oracle database. The first one is system monitor. It is used for instance recovery. It cleans up unused temporary segments and recovers dead transactions skipped during the crash. The next one is process monitor. It performs process recovery. It cleans up the database buffer cache, frees resources that is used by the user process. It monitors the idle session timeout and it dynamically registers the database services with the listeners. The next is the checkpoint background process, which makes sure that modified data is written to the disk while simultaneously updating the information in control file and data file header. The next background process is log writer, which which writes the data from redo log buffer to redo log files. The next is database writer process. It moves the modified data from the database buffer cache to disk. The archiver is only enabled when the database is in archive log mode and it moves the redo log files to a designated storage device in the form of archives. To connect to an Oracle database, two processes are involved, user process and server process. Communication between a user process and an instance is called connection, and a specific connection of a user to an instance through a user process is called session. The next is server process. The server process are divided into two types, dedicated and shared. In dedicated server process, every single user process will have its own server process. That means the number of server process equals the number of user process. Whereas in shared server process, there are several user process for a single server process. The next is Oracle database modes. They are of two types, archive log and no archive log. In no archive log mode, the redo archiving is disabled. Database is prone to media failure. The online backups are disabled, so Armin functionality won't be working, and data guard functionality is also disabled. The point in time recovery is not possible. Using archive log mode, we can achieve all the above and data can be guaranteed at any point of time for restore, recovery, and online backup. In database startup mode, the database is first in no mount stage where the instance is started, then it is mounted, where the control file is accessed which will give the path of all the physical files, and then the database is open to make accessible to the. Whereas in shutdown mode, the first database is made unavailable to users, then the control file is unmounted, and the database is being shut down by shutting down the instance. Finally, we are discussing about the database backup. They are of two types, hot backup and cold backup. Hot backup is taken when the database is up and running, but the backup will be inconsistent. Whereas in cold backup, the database is shut down and then the backup is being taken. The backup in this case, that's all from us. Thank you, everyone.